Could have been worse. Could have been Forrest Whitaker. I mean,
Oh, he's got a pretty deep voice.
That would have worked.
I only hit him once.
Oh, I got line in there. I got line. That's pretty good.
I want to see that version. That's pretty good. That's
pretty
really good. Yeah.
Welcome to Chaotically Nerdy, a podcast for nerds by nerds. Chaotically Nerdy is a podcast made by adults for adults and children with bad parents, which is me. Adult language and situations may arise. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Chaotically Nerdy. On this week's episode is me, Hammerhand.
And me, Hama.
I'm not naming one.
Hellith.
It's
Or
another
Wolf.
H name.
Or Freyloff.
I'd rather be Amir. It's
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, that's essentially Freyloff.
yeah. It's the
No,
same. Yeah.
actually, this week it's Tyler.
And Jarrett.
Ethan.
Like it always is.
Yep.
Typically.
Surprise.
Same old.
Surprise, shouty.
What the fuck? Where did that come from? Straight out of 2005.
Them drugs coming back up on you.
I haven't had any. I've not taken a hydrocodone in like 5 days.
I think you need one.
It's called a
I
flashback,
do probably
bitch.
do need a flashback. Solid. This week, because I know you didn't pick up on it from the names.
If you did, fucking hats off to you.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the animated movie, The Lord of the Rings, A War of the Rohirrim. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Good pronunciation?
Rohirrim, yeah.
Rohirrim. That's how it's spelled.
Well, I know that's how it's spelled, but sometimes
It's more like Hiram.
It depends on what language you're speaking it in. Sure. In English, it's Rohirrim.
okay. Jarrett, you made the script for this. Take us into it, big dog.
First, we'll start out with the notable actor.
I can only think of one.
He's so
I
fucking disappointed
I-
in the way that he's saying that.
I know that the script says actors, but there's really only one actor. It's Brian Cox.
Yeah.
No.
No, that's not who you thought.
That's
No.
not what I thought.
Who'd you think?
Who you
The
think?
one who played Eowyn.
Oh, sure, Miranda.
Miranda, yeah. Yeah, because she did the narrating.
Yes, they did get her back to do the narrating.
And the singing. She did the singing, too.
Oh, she did?
Better this time.
But no,
She was
Brian
a-
Cox was
she
the
a
one I
Jiminy
recognized.
Christ this
Yeah.
time.
I mean,
Yeah.
I knew Miranda was in it. I was just like, narration didn't really count.
Also,
Of course it counts.
I was so, I don't know, like disappointed. Like,
I don't know what you would... If you're disappointed by this, I don't know what you were expecting.
no. It was when I seen Hammerhand and then I heard him speak, I went, that's not what I pictured. I don't know why. That was just like, I heard it, but then
Were
it
you
grew.
expecting, like, what, Odin, Anthony Hopkins?
Like maybe, or I was expecting like maybe something deeper like Travis Willingham.
You just want a real deep voice. Okay,
Yeah,
sure.
like it just seemed like a big
Could have
ass.
been worse. Could have been Forrest Whitaker. I mean,
Oh, he's got a pretty deep voice.
That would have worked.
I only hit him once.
Oh, I got line in there. I got line. That's pretty good.
I want to see that version. That's pretty good. That's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna start off with the fucking abomination that is the animation in this movie.
Oh yeah, it's god awful. I like it's so like when it's
Okay,
a still
the
shot,
2D
it's
is
fucking
good.
beautiful.
Yeah, the 2D is good.
The landscapes are beautiful.
When they try and mesh the 2D and the 3D, it looks terrible.
Yeah.
It's so distracting.
Yeah.
You start off with the fucking giant eagles.
The whole thing looks like a half-assed cutscene from a video game.
It's so distracting. Oh god. There's only one other scene that's even more distracting. I don't know if I have it in here, but when Helm gets shot with the arrows and Hama comes up, it is the most obvious mocap work I've ever seen. It's just it's so
I guess I didn't notice it.
dude, it is so distracting. Like he comes up and it's just like this like janky like
It's almost like shitty AI work.
it's almost like shitty AI. It was so bad.
You could tell me it was shitty AI, and I would believe it.
Yeah. I want to preface before we continue bashing this. There are things about this I like. And there are things
Like
most of
when it ended.
There are things about this I like. Most of it has to do with Tolkien, so it has nothing to do with the actual show.
I guess I'll say, like, this is technically a new chapter or new, like, iteration of Tolkien lore in which they fill in some gaps and expand on some things.
This is actually fleshed out pretty well.
I meant, like, his daughter.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's, like, a original-ish character. Like, the daughter existed,
It's
but not-
alluded to,
Yeah.
but it's not
She was never
specified.
named. Yeah, she's never named.
Correct.
And they definitely give her a lot more.
Well, you know Tolkien. He doesn't like naming the female characters or having them, period. So,
Yeah, definitely gave her a lot more agency in this version of the story.
I was gonna make a joke. I held back.
about
women.
and periods.
No,
Oh,
it was just gonna be good. I don't like them anyway.
jeez.
But
Jeez.
I made a joke on the episode that released at this point a couple weeks ago about abortions and women. And do you remember the joke?
I remember.
Okay.
I don't
I'm
remember
just
the joke.
disappointed.
You don't remember the joke?
Yeah, dude, it deletes from the hard drive whenever we're done. I don't.
It's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
That it is a good thing.
Dude, how
To
many
see a
times-
psychiatrist.
Remember it. Think about how many times I have to be like, "Who said that?" And you're like, "You," and I'm like, "I don't remember that
Oh yeah,
at all."
that's true. I will bring up a name
Yeah.
and you'll be here. I'll bring up a title of an episode and you're like, who said that? You motherfucker.
I don't remember.
Jesus, Tyler. One day we're gonna have like a super fan, and they're gonna come kill you, and I'm like, fucking good.
Me too.
Start with the leg.
That evil fuck.
Think I give a fuck?
No, I don't think you do.
Knock me off.
I thought you were gonna say top me off.
Before or after you go through the physical therapy for that leg.
Preferably before.
Yeah, that's what I was
before.
thinking. Yeah, that shit.
Corey,
hurts.
get on it.
You're the only super fan we got.
It's not that long of a drive. Come on, Corey. He'll give you
God.
a gun to do it with.
Yeah.
So this is the story all about how the first line of Helm ended and how the second
It's
line of
the
Helm.
first. It's the first kings of Rohan.
Oh, the second line of Rohan.
It's the first line.
No, Helm is the first line. Freyloff is the second line.
Oh, that's right.
Aemir is the
That's
third
right.
line.
That's right. You're correct.
Yeah, I just looked this up today because I was like, "Who the fuck are these people?" I had to I had to figure it out because the movie doesn't really explain a lot of it. It just kind of assumes you know some shit.
You know, before this came out, I was almost upset they didn't turn it into a show.
And now I'm glad.
And now I'm okay with it.
If this was going to be it, I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm sure they could have made it more entertaining, but
Also, this is a long fucking movie.
way longer than it should have been.
Yeah.
You know, there's this guy named Freka who's like some sort of lord in Helm's kingdom.
He is a Dunlander.
A Dunlander.
Is that Wolf's dad?
So
Yeah.
I don't remember.
north of what we think of as Rohan
Yeah.
is the coastal area between there and where like the Shire and the Grey Havens are.
Mm-hmm.
In that area, the southern portion of that area is called Dunland.
The Dunland.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
they're kind of what it is there's I think what it's supposed to be, and I'm not totally sure about this, so don't quote me on this for the
Bro.
Lord of the Rings lore.
Bro, if we can't quote you, who can we quote?
I don't know, and I'll have to look it up. So before we ever did like the Lord of the
Ain't
Rings,
me, and it sure as fuck ain't that guy.
before we did the Lord of the Rings episode, I believe there were Southlanders, like from way south, like not quite Haradrim, but kind of down in there.
Brazilians. Got it.
They moved, like some of them had moved north, like sailing along the coast, and had actually settled in Dunland.
Yeah.
And I'm not quite sure about that, but I think that's what's happened.
Is that why? Don't they employ Southlanders later?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you think
they
like-
have connections
like
to
cousins.
Southlanders. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Freka is a fat fuck. Comes in here, just waddling in, being like, "I ain't respecting you. You are a bad king or some shit. I don't know."
And then it's like, marry my son.
Yeah. Okay. He's mad.
Which is fucking
he's
weird.
mad because Helm's gonna marry off Hera. Yeah.
Yeah.
To a Gondorian prince,
Yeah.
So no,
which is not technical. Is it true? would that be an actual prince or a
It would
steward?
be as similar to a prince.
Okay.
It'd be at least similar.
Well, I
So,
didn't know
yes.
at what point does
I don't know.
the king
I'd have to look at the timelines.
It's
I
like
don't
200 years.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
So, actually,
Reading the fucking.
so
Sorry, I got to stop reading ahead.
Yeah, you do. This is what me and Ethan deal with. We can't read ahead. We start laughing.
no, especially when it's your notes and
Yeah.
you're on drugs, talking about polar bears and guns. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about sometimes. It's bananas. So Rohirrim is actually like the people of Rohirrim are actually descended from a group of people that were gifted this land by elves. Whenever they moved in the area, they were highly respected and trusted by the elvish people of Beleriand before Beleriand kind of got like hachad and sunk into the ocean by the gods, quotation mark.
They do that sinking in the ocean thing a lot.
No, this is like there's like 2 times they do that. It's like 2 times.
I know of
Legitimately.
2. It's weird that it happened twice.
Actually, the second time happened because it was like you're as bad as them.
Oh boy.
And so
Oh, it's like Sodom and Gomorrah.
yeah, it's like you're as bad as them. So Rohirrim was actually gifted this land by them. Now it wasn't called Rohirrim at the time; it was something else. I don't remember what another H name.
I was gonna say some fancy fucking elf term.
I don't remember. I'd have to read that part of the Silmarillion again or the Unfinished Tales. The Southlanders were basically people that were like originally, I think they had tried to be friendly with the elves, but they were really shitty. So the elves were like, get on.
Get on to Stefan.
Yeah. And so because the early Rohirrim and then the early Southlanders were separate on that, they were at odds and since a long way back. And so the Southlanders really don't like the Rohirrim people to begin with. So they already have this sort of like animosity towards each other.
Yeah,
and Gondor actually comes from Numenor.
Yeah.
Their people are actually not from this area. So they actually took the land from the people that lived here in the first place, which were not, they were somewhere between the Southlanders and the Southlanders and the Haradrim and the Rohirrim. They're somewhere between the two. They're like mixed. So, and they took them from them and basically said, "We're going to live here now, and you need to move."
It's my home, bitch.
Yep. So that's like the short history of the area for humans.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
Anyway,
let's take this shit outside, bitch.
yeah, Freka. They get into an argument and Helm's
It's
like,
over Hera.
Yeah, and Helm's like, we're gonna fight. We're gonna fight. Let's take this shit outside.
yeah,
Because he's like, I can't spill blood in my hall or something, like Lord's blood or something like that.
Let's be honest. It doesn't matter why he doesn't want to fight.
Helm is aggressive and he wants to fight. He wants to beat the shit out of some people.
Oh, and he fucking does.
well, Freck is pretty aggressive too. Yeah,
But he's all down for it.
But Freck is just like talking himself up, and talking down on Helm and shit, and then they get in a fight and
Takes one punch.
And he like hits him like a few times, and
No,
then like
that's the
Freka
thing.
hits him a few times.
Yeah, Freka hits Helm like 5 or 6 times, and then Helm just fucking
Hauls up.
swings
Crack.
once.
Yeah. So therefore, Helm is One Punch Man.
Yeah,
I think honestly, it was just the guy was so fat
Yeah, he didn't have a chin.
that he didn't
No chin.
like, he
Can take a hit.
just glass chins.
glass
jaw.
chins, multiple.
Yeah.
And like the blood pressure problems, he probably had the hemorrhage like in his brain and just die right there.
And then Wolf gets mad that Helm killed his dad.
I didn't get that
And
part.
I'm like, dude.
Freka came in here being a bitch.
Yeah, that's
So this whole point, they're just angling.
Like you didn't shoot him in the fucking front door.
Yeah.
you disrespected your king, and you're just gonna say, eh.
Why didn't they just kill Wolf?
That's true
Why
too.
didn't they just kill the general guy and be like,
I think
send their heads back, tell them to fuck off?
I think that was because Wolf and Hera have like a past, and so
Yeah.
Helm probably had a soft spot for him to a degree. Whereas the
Essentially,
dad,
he's
he was like, "Fuck off."
Helm kind of excuses it as like a grieving son.
Yeah.
Almost, he's like, "Your dad I just killed your fucking dad." So I get it.
He just keeps talking about it.
he's
Just
like,
be like,
"My bad."
I'm really sorry about killing your dad.
My bad.
He's dead,
Hey,
and I
get
did
out
it.
of my lands. I killed your dad.
Yeah. And then I don't.
They
leave.
meet on the battlefield again. Killed your dad.
Yeah, but think about what would happen in Game of Thrones.
If that happened,
They punched him, one punch, and then the son was there being like, hey, you killed my dad. I'm going
Pulled
to kill
his
you
sword.
now. He would have fucking killed the son.
Yeah, depending on who it is, they would have fucking marked him.
They would have killed the whole fucking house. Is
Yeah.
what they would have done. And be like, here's a new one.
There's a good chance that they would have just hung the son as a warning.
Yeah. If it was Jon Snow, he would have let it go.
Yeah, Jon Snow.
What a bitch.
Where's Snow?
He's too fucking passive.
Queen.
How did we get... No, back to this.
It's more entertaining, goddammit.
It is.
Leaf, who's like their servant, like the royal family's like servant boy
Yeah.
page. He says like one line. I'm like, that sounded almost exactly like Martin Freeman from The Hobbit. Like I was like, I had to look up. I was like, huh?
No, I wouldn't.
It was just I don't even remember what the line was. He said it, and I was like, what the fuck?
It's because they're trying to make a reference.
He kind of even looks like a Hobbit almost too.
That's what they're trying to do.
thought
They're
that.
trying to make a reference to this is why the Rohirrim people really like hobbits once they meet them.
they make a lot of like homages and
Yeah,
references
it's-
to the original movies, and I'm
It's
like,
too much.
it's a little heavy-handed sometimes.
What is
Hera, when I'm skipping way for. They're like, they go out. Her and Freyloff go out because there's like a big ass time skip, and they're like, she has to travel with a guard now whenever she goes out because she likes to. Hera's a wild girl. She likes to ride.
She's free.
Yeah, she's free. They go outside, and it's her, Freyloff, Leaf, and the old lady, the old shield maiden lady. They come across a dead Southlander and a elephant that fucking
rampaging.
rampage, and Freyloff kills it somehow.
She...
No, he didn't kill it.
No.
He should
No,
have
she
killed it.
leads it to
Yeah.
to a watcher in the water.
That's right.
Yeah. And then that's where she gets
He
captured.
just bisects it, fucking cuts its stomach open, which should have probably...
It's probably just the
the
skin.
fat.
The skin,
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway, he gets fucked up. She rides off, and then the general guy finds her after the Watcher kills it,
Yeah. Wolf's new general.
and she's not immediately like on edge. Like, what the fuck are you here?
Like you should be.
Yeah. So that's what's dumb. She's a dumb girl. She's
She
just
goes,
like
"Oh, hey."
naive. Yeah, she's like super naive for
Oh,
some
hi,
reason.
Mark.
Why are you here?
Yeah, essentially.
Oh,
and then
hi,
they
Mark.
capture
That's
her.
right. That's right. It's yeah.
And then
If this ever gets made into live action, I want Hera to be played by Tommy Wiseau.
That would probably make me actually watch it.
yeah,
I would watch
I'd
it
be
then,
more likely to
yeah.
be- They take Hera to Wolf, and Wolf becomes the new captain incel. He's like, "Why don't you love me?
Yeah.
Why didn't you want to marry me?"
Your dad killed my dad.
You
You
say-
should marry me.
You put Captain Incel on here. That's exactly what Ashley said when we were watching.
Yeah.
I was like, "That's Captain Incel."
It is.
What
Like,
the fuck
I mean,
is up with Captain Incel? I think it's exactly what you
well,
said.
that's what we called what's his name? From Hot D.
Oh, I was to say James. But-
No, he's Captain Weebo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know. I can't remember his name, but I know who you're talking about. It's the
From Hot
knight.
D. Oh,
it's the fucking knight.
I can't think of his name.
No, it's the Dornish guy, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kristen Cole.
Kristen
Yeah,
Cole.
there you
Yeah.
go.
I had to think about it. Yeah,
I typed in Captain Incel, and the first thing is a Reddit post for analysis of Kristen Cole's character and motivation.
That's good.
undefeated.
That's good.
Yeah, and then they have this whole like Freyloff and the Shield Maiden lady and Leaf. They go to like rescue her, and they come back, and Helm's like, "Freyloff, you let her be captured. Fucking, you're a disgrace. I don't." They try and tell him that Wolf's gonna attack, and he's like, Freyloff's like, "No, we don't need to." What does he say? He says something like, he's like, "I don't know if that's a good idea." He disagrees with them, and he's like, "Fuck you," and basically just banishes him like Thalia
Yeah.
banishes Arrowmere, and I'm
Yeah.
like,
He basically banishes
like-
anybody who disagrees with him, or he punches them.
What is it with
Banishment.
Kings of Rohan and taking really bad advisors?
"Yeah,
And
I got a line."
banishing people
Yeah.
like their family members.
Banishing their nephews who become future kings.
Yeah.
It's just this weird. very on the nose, like homage reference to Two Towers and Return of the Kings. And I'm like, did we just tell an original story here?
I'm not even sure I'm not even sure that that's actually in the story originally. I don't think it is. Like him, Freylof getting banished.
Yeah.
I don't think it is. I think he's just.
I think they may have just needed a way for him to not be there for some
I think
reason.
he's just Lord of the Dimholt.
Yeah. The next line is literally never trust a thorn, because that's the advisor person who just is worm tongue.
Yeah.
He's like, scheming in the chair, and then fucking Hera kills him.
Catches that.
Also,
somebody should have caught that way before it fell.
yeah.
Like the fucking note with the sigil.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody should have been like,
Yeah. Also, he's just been given like this really like weird advice
Yeah.
in public. I'm like, you're being weird.
you should rub your
Stop
feet
it.
with mustard.
Stop being weird.
Weird advice,
Yeah.
is it not?
It is.
Did you got a sunburn on your feet?
Why? Move on. Let's move
And
on.
then Hera has this bright idea.
Tell
She's
me
like,
that joke wasn't more entertaining than this fucking movie.
Yeah. Hera has this bright idea. She's like, I'm going to catch the entire city on fire.
It wasn't.
I'm going to catch the entire town on fire so they can't take anything.
Yeah. And that's how it works.
That's kind of, sure. Then they just tried really, like, they have Helm say, at least in a very similar way to Theoden, like
Theoden is actually supposed to be mimicking somebody's older things.
sure,
Thing
yeah.
that was said. So
But we don't. The general audience doesn't know that.
No.
It's going to read like they're just copying.
he's supposed to be, because Theoden in character is supposed to be obsessed with becoming worthy to be in the same halls of the former kings, like
makes sense.
in their like afterlife halls as the former kings of Rohan and so on and so forth.
Like this guy, like Helm, because
Yeah.
he's like the most
The
prominent one, most well
most
known.
well renowned.
Yeah.
One. Yeah.
And I'm really confused as to why sometimes.
Well, it's him and Freylof are the only ones really.
He has like they're having their big charge speech, and he says like Brian Cox does a very similar accent / the way he says die or like
To
ride.
Bernard Hill.
It's very similar. That I
Is
was
it
like
Bernard or Bernard? Bernard Hill.
I think I'm not sure.
I can't remember.
And I'm just gonna skip all the way. They get betrayed by fucking Thorn, and Wolf ends up attacking Edoras, and then Helm and his two sons ride back to go help, to like cut him off. Fucking the Helith kills. This time he kills an elephant. They kill an elephant, and he kills all the riders, and he's standing on top of it, fucking celebrating, and fucking Wolf shoots him in the neck.
Yeah, because he like climbs up it like Legolas.
Yeah.
And he just.
That's a
But he
bit
doesn't
more.
fight like Legolas.
Yeah, it's a bit more aggressive. He's
The fighting
brutal.
wasn't bad.
Yeah.
The
No, it was
fighting
cool.
wasn't bad.
yeah, and then he's like, he gets something stuck in his throat. He's got to back off.
An arrow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He doesn't have to back off. He dies.
yeah,
Yeah.
He does have to back off because he died.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then this is where Helm gets shot with the arrows, and it looks really shitty whenever Hama tries to like protect him. He's like shooting it looks bad. And then they all have to leave.
Why doesn't the prince have a better horse?
He's got his old ass horse.
Yeah.
Got his old whiny bitchy horse.
It's probably one that he got at a young age as a learning, and he just got too attached and never.
But
switched
also
it out
the
like an
fucking
idiot.
Rohirrim are like horse lords. Like you think they would be like.
You can't have this old nag.
Yeah, you need
Yeah,
a fucking.
you
You,
would
need a real horse like Ashere, which
Yeah.
is fucking Hera's horse, who's like apparently.
You can tell me they didn't have enough horses.
Yeah, they had plenty of horses. And then he gets captured. Of course, they really cut it weird where it seems like he's gonna go down fighting, and then he just gets captured. And if I was him, I'd been like, I would have never surrendered. They'd have to kill me.
Yeah.
Like there ain't no
Yeah.
way. But anyway, he goes. I'm trying to remember if this is before or after.
Now this is.
They take him. They take him. They
take Hama.
They take him all the way up there to not Helm's Deep.
They take. Yeah.
It's not Helm's Deep yet.
No, it's
Hornburg.
the Hornburg.
Yeah.
They take him to the Hornburg. Everyone from everyone from
Edoras
is holed up in the Hornburg,
Yeah.
which is later to be called Helm's Deep.
Well, no, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. It's still called the Hornburg.
The Hornburg is the castle.
The castle. The gorge is called Helm's Deep.
Yes.
They never really explained that in the movies. I just learned that today.
So everyone's holed up in.
I thought for years
In the
I thought
Hornburg.
that castle was called Helm's Deep.
No. They're holed up in the Hornburg, and the Wolf's army comes up.
Yeah.
And they bring Hama forward and put him out and say that, if you don't do this, we're going to kill Hama. Give up now or we're going to kill Hama.
I don't know if they didn't give him an ultimatum, do they?
They do.
Do they?
But then he kills him
I
anyway.
thought he preemptively was like, release my son, kill me, take me instead.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's
And
like,
then
no, he will die.
He just
Yeah.
slits his throat right
After
there.
the general was like, what the fuck are you doing? Why would you kill him?
Yeah.
That was all of our leverage.
we
Now
could have just
that's
had the king
actually-
right there.
That's actually what he says. He's like, end it here. That's what you want.
Yeah.
And he was
And
like,
then, this is then after that, he gets to go sit on his throne of ashes,
yeah.
which is cool. I'm really skipping ahead here because this is the part of the movie it is so boring and long, and I'm like, what the fuck are we doing?
Well, Helm has like an injury.
He gets shot with a bunch of arrows, and he goes into like a fucking coma.
Goes in a coma, and that's about it.
Because the way this movie's paced, it seems like this should be like leading into like the last like 20 minutes, and there's still
Absolutely.
like an hour left of this movie.
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
It
they
is-
drag out the building of the siege tower.
It is paced oddly,
and so
to say the least.
so Helm is supposed to be sick. And
Yeah.
everyone's holed up in the Hornburg
'Cause it's in
including
winter.
Hera.
Because they attacked right before winter,
Yeah.
knowing that they have a castle that can withstand any
Winter.
siege.
Yeah. Yeah, really smart.
Not the smart attack in the
Not
spring.
my siege.
But
That's
It's basically that attitude.
But the people, the besiegers, the Wolf's army, start dying.
Yeah, because it's fucking winter.
No, but they start dying violently
yeah,
dying.
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
They
yeah.
get killed in the middle of the night,
Yeah.
and these rumors start coming up that there's
It's
Helm's horn is being blown, and
that he's like a wraith, which is why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why I put he's an undead level 20 monk, because
Well-
he doesn't use weapons anymore. He just uses his fucking fists.
well, there's an idea behind this.
Yeah.
And it depends on the timing, and I don't think it falls right. But some people are trying to say that they're saying that the ring that he gave over was one of the rings of power.
in the lore. No, not the lore. Sorry, in War of Shadows,
Yes, it is.
It is.
In War, like
Yeah,
in
I just learned this
the,
to
in
kid
the
too.
Shadows of War
Video
game, Activision.
Whoever made it.
Yeah, anyway, I thought it was Activision.
I thought it was Ubisoft.
No, it's not.
It's-
It is. You no.
I think it's Activision. I could be wrong.
It's somebody shitty because they've kept the Nemesis system unlocked for 10 years.
Anyway,
Yeah, doesn't matter.
Anyway, so there's like a fan theory kind of going around that Helm had one of the rings of the rings of power
One of the 9 rings of men.
that were given to men. Now, I don't think that's the case, but that would allot to him becoming a wraith.
Sure. I was like, I don't know what point do they become wraiths, and when does that? What happens to
I
the
don't-
rings
I
after
don't
they
know.
become wraiths?
I don't know. It's not as soon as they get them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know when they actually became the wraiths, and what
No idea.
happens to the rings after they became a wraith.
So there's two different Shadow games. There's Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War.
It's the war.
It's a war? Okay.
Shadow of Mordor was the first one. Shadow
Yes.
of War is the second one.
Yes. I couldn't remember which one was first, which was second. So I was I'm trying to look to see who made it.
Anyway, yeah. So he just starts fucking marking people.
Yeah, but he's basically going around at
Monolith
night.
Productions and Warner Brothers. Published by Warner Brothers.
Yeah, I knew it was probably
Well, who did the first one?
just Warner Brothers. Maybe it's just Warner Brothers.
Maybe it is. I thought it was.
They're a
Activision.
shitty company. It counts.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe I just thought it was
It
Activision
does.
because it's so shitty.
It does.
But you don't find out that it's Helm actually for a while. They
For a
kind
little
of
bit.
they kind of
Allude to it.
yeah
and
they
then
kind of mask it.
Hera finds out he's missed. Like she wakes up and he's missing.
Missing in the middle of the night,
and then his spear. Something leads her to the tunnels that they use.
They're looking or something, and she finds like a draft or something. Like
Yeah,
that.
and she finds the tunnels that will.
She
eventually,
pushes it open.
yeah.
She falls inside. It's
Which really seems like if that
secret tunnel.
Oh no,
Secret
no, I
tunnel.
got that. Yep, it's a little bit later.
I'm really confused though.
Nope.
What's the one before secret tunnel?
Yeah, that's the one I was laughing at earlier.
Oh, she goes.
She gives the armor to the
gives the-
fucking
yeah, she
eagle
gives to the
to take to the
giant
fucking.
Oh, yes.
I beseech you, Big Bird.
So she does take his armor before she finds the tunnel. Right?
Yeah. Well, she finds the tunnel. It's before the secret tunnel thing. I have written down is to lead them out of the tunnel. All the people, all the inhabitants.
Oh,
She finds the tunnel. That's because Helm has to die first before she gives the armor over.
Yeah.
So she finds Helm, and he slaughters a couple of goblins and fights a troll
They're orcs.
or goblin. That's the same fucking thing.
maybe
Goblins.
it's a troll.
Well, no, they're orcs because they're looking for rings.
Yeah.
It's another fucking heavy-handed hint that they're
Which is Dominic Moynihan and Billy Boyd.
Yeah,
Yes.
I wrote that.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if you really would notice that unless you like have a really trained ear.
I noticed it immediately.
I did not.
Yeah.
I knew they were in there. I didn't see where they were, but
Yeah.
I've been listening for them, and then
Billy's a bit more obvious than Dominic.
Dominic's much better at changing his voice than Billy is.
Also, his voice has just changed in the past 20 years, where
Yeah.
Billy's is not really.
Well, Billy was like the oldest Hobbit.
Yeah.
Like outside
Yeah.
of fucking Ian Holm.
Yeah.
That doesn't count.
The main four.
Yeah.
I was trying to think. And then, so he fights them, and then he goes out to, like, I can't remember. Why the fuck does he go out front? He just goes out front to fight Wolf's guys.
Helm?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, that's 100% why.
I don't, he just goes out there to fight him, and he gets frozen to
It's
death.
to give them time to escape.
That's what it is, till they escape.
Because the front to the cave collapses.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah. Okay.
The front of the cave, so they try to escape down the hill because Wolf's men are coming up there to where he was fighting the goblins.
And the troll.
Yeah, so they go down the hill towards the Hornburg, and
Yeah.
they're trying to run across, and they
That's
and
right.
the door won't open because it's too cold.
Yeah.
And so he pulls it open just long enough for her to get in,
Yeah. The
and
super
then
strength.
And then gives her the whole, I love you.
and then closes it,
And just starts fucking.
and he just kills people. And he kills people supposed to be in the story like all day and most of the night. And when they wake up the next morning, they find him. He's frozen.
Yeah.
No, they
solid,
showed it.
still standing.
Because he was frozen
Yeah.
standing with the axe.
a hammer.
Hammer.
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking from the story.
I know that, but they called him Hammer Hands because he was hitting people so hard it was like hammers.
He's also holding a hammer.
Yeah,
That part, I don't remember what weapon he was holding. I just,
yeah, but he dies there,
Yeah.
freezing to death.
Yeah.
Standing there, and he's supposed to be like it's supposed to be as long as he's standing there, the Hornburg won't fall. And he stands there forever because they actually place him standing up in his tomb
Yeah.
underneath, where they actually have a statue built of him standing up in the same position he was frozen in.
Yeah.
So he's actually just a little thing underneath it. They don't actually they're not in the story. They're not supposed to like bind him up or anything. They just break the ice off and go and bury him in the ground. Yeah. That's what they're alluding to
Sure.
in the books and stuff.
which granted, depending on what time he died and the cold, rigor mortis would have set in. He probably would have been stuck like that anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, he had like frost and
Yeah.
thick ice
Oh, yeah.
all over him.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Then
they
we-
weren't going to thaw him out unless they put him in a fire. I
Yeah.
mean,
And then we beseech Big Bird.
yeah.
Go find Freyloff, and then secret tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
Secret tunnel. Yeah. Then she they're like, this is her big ass fucking plan. She's like, Hera's like, I'll distract him. I'll go challenge Wolf to fight, and then all the citizens will escape.
Because you missed a point. They built this giant,
Siege tower.
weird siege
Yeah.
tower, and they did it wrong. That's
Yeah.
not how siege towers work.
look, they're Southlanders. What the fuck do you?
God, that's racist.
Is it though?
Areaist? Locationist.
It's so stupid. It's like they thought, well, because, getting up near the walls means they can shoot us, right?
Yep.
So we have to make a bridge, but we can't build it to there. So we're going to build it really tall and drop it down as if it's not going to fucking fall apart as soon as it hits the fucking wall. God, it's such a dumb idea. Tolkien would have hated it. I guess.
I was so checked out at this point. In the 2 times I watched the movie, I never paid attention to the siege tower.
I gotta be honest.
It's supposed to be on wheels. You roll it up to the wall, and then you climb up the siege tower, and then you go up the stairs and onto the wall. That's how they work.
The part that drops is like something to attach it to the wall, like hooks or something.
It's
so they can't push it off.
10 or 12 feet tall.
Yeah.
It's not 40 foot long, 400 feet long.
You watched it twice?
Yeah.
I didn't even watch it all the way through. This is another show I watched a fucking recap for.
To be fair, I thought about it.
I
was like,
I got to the part where Helm got frozen. And I don't
dude, we still got like 30 minutes left.
The I beseech you, Big Bird.
Yeah.
That's where I only seen that because of the recap.
Yeah. Yeah, so she has this. That's my next point. She's like, let's 1v1. My dad killed her dad.
That's another reminder again.
That's essentially how it
Dad's
goes.
dad.
Yeah.
This would be one. See if you die like your dad did.
And they have this big fucking drawn out fight that also has multiple fake endings, essentially. It's like she's beating him and then fucking she's like, all right, now give up. And he's like, okay, never mind, lol, staff.
Yeah. And then she goes, let me choke you out with a shield.
Yeah. Freyloff comes down the fucking, side of the mountain or the hill, whatever. Mm-hmm. Again, he's just Éomer. He is literally just Éomer. Yeah, she kills him with a shield. And then that's how it became Helm's Deep.
It's a good story.
I read the next one.
Oh yeah, there's like this whole in very Lord of the Rings-esque, what should be the conclusion of the movie. There's like another 15-minute epilogue where they have to explain everything. Freyloff becomes king, and he's like, "Yes, and now who will inherit Isengard but Saruman the White?"
Well, now they say, and they start introducing the people who've come to pay homage to the new king of Rohan, and they introduce Saruman.
Yeah.
And they say something about him taking over Isengard.
Because
Orthanc. It's called Orthanc.
Well,
it's not called Isengard yet.
No, it says Isengard.
Well, it's yes. At this point, it should be.
They call it Isengard. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's where Wolf was located or headquartered at some point.
Yeah. So Saruman, and they put Christopher Lee's voice in where they cut a few lines together. Why? It's weird. Why? And then they have another ending.
Yeah. Hera's like, fucking peace out, bitch. Never getting married. Fuck you. I hear there's this really cool wizard. I'm going to go fucking meet up with him.
Yeah. And the shield maiden, older lady, goes with her.
Yeah. And there might be something else. I'm not sure.
I don't remember it, nor do I care.
I think that was it. I think her fucking off was the last of it.
Yeah. My note for Saruman was like, what's that? A wild Saruman appears.
Yeah. It got me. It got me good. So now we can move on to the ratings because I don't think we have anything else to really.
I'm surprised we made it 40 minutes.
Yeah.
That's only usually with just Ethan expounding upon Tolkien lore.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. If he wouldn't have done that,
Look,
we'd have been 20 minutes.
I tried to get more bullet points. I just couldn't.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
It's just not.
It's a long movie with not a lot of shit really happening.
It's like 2
No,
hours.
it has a lot of shit happening. None of it makes any goddamn sense.
It's an hour and 30 or hour. It's 130 minutes long and it needs to be about 90.
Yeah.
It's like the Beowulf movie.
Yeah, it could cut a good 40 minutes out of it and it could be actually like a decent-ish movie.
Yeah. It's just.
Rotten Tomatoes has it at a 48% tomato meter with 146 reviews and an 82% popcorn meter. What the fuck?
Again,
both of those are a bit
1,000
high.
reviews.
Again, popcorn meter is just like, did you like it?
I know.
Yeah.
That's where I'm confused.
I still think the tomato meter is a bit high.
IMDb has it at a 6.3 out of 10 with 31,000, almost 32,000 reviews.
People don't have high enough expectations for this shit.
Ethan, our Lord of the Ring master.
Yeah, this is the one that would offend you the most. We just don't care.
There were some things I liked about it. There was a lot of shit that didn't make any sense. I'm gonna go with like 3.8.
Oh shit!
You couldn't tell by the tomato meter was high. He was gonna go low.
No, I knew he was gonna go low, but when he said 3, it caught me off guard.
3.8. Yeah, the animation's bad. The fight scenes are okay. That does not a good movie make to me.
Yeah.
Especially animated. Like, kung fu movies are great because the fight scenes are usually entertaining. But they're usually real people doing shit. If you're animating it, you have time to make the story.
Yeah.
And this is based off of another story. You could have just followed the fucking story. I don't know. It seems kind of dumb. And they're doing things within the lore that, though they aren't directly against the lore, just don't make sense of what's happening or who's doing what.
They're against like the spirit of the lore.
Yeah, they're against the spirit of Lord of the Rings to me. I don't think it's really great. I don't think it's like really big like sins against the thing. It's just more annoying than anything.
To me, it seemed like there was a studio in Japan that had this script for a fantasy like anime thing, and they just kind of slopped some Lord of the Rings stuff on top of it and like made it work with the lore.
You
but
know,
they're like, eh.
I can understand that thought because it seems so familiar to so many different stories.
Yeah, they're
I've
like,
seen.
oh, you know what's cool? We'll put a reference into this part of Lord of the Rings or this part.
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
Okay, hang on here.
That's where my rating keeps going down, is because they're just cameoing, they're just Easter egging, and it's just
slop to try and appease people so they like it.
Member berries.
Yeah, and it's just shitty.
Jarrett, you're up.
I'm gonna go close with IMDb 6.25.
Okay.
As much as I shit on the movie, I'm like, there are still parts that I'm like, this is interesting and cool, and then there's the vast majority of them like, oh God, why?
Yeah.
6.2, that's high.
It's
you
hard.
forget his scale, like 7 and above is good.
Yeah, it's hard for me to really rate anything super low unless it's just like
God awful.
Terrible. This is just more like,
I just see it
annoying.
as this story is not hard to make into a movie.
Yeah.
And the fact that they didn't do a good job, it just shows that they don't have the capacity to make a decent movie.
Yeah.
So stop.
So I'm going to go even 5. I have no care one way or the other about this movie. Like, I'm not disappointed I watched it for the most part.
I was disappointed I had to watch it the second time.
You didn't have to watch it a second time.
Well, I couldn't remember enough, and
To make a script.
I was like,
Yeah.
I should have made a script while I was watching it, but it was like at like 8:00 at night.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck it.
But I also, like, I don't know. I don't know where it's
You're
going
not
with that.
invested enough.
I'm not invested enough to really be mad about it, I guess is the best way to say it. So just an even 5 for me.
I will say the part probably where I gave it so high scores just because it made me learn some more Tolkien lore that I'm like, oh, this is interesting.
You could do that very easily.
But it made me, because I had to write the script, so I was like looking up names, and I'm like, oh,
okay.
I had to learn this.
Yeah.
And you know, it did follow the storyline,
Yeah.
but then it did so many embellishments that I felt like it's sinful in its excess.
Gotcha. So that will wrap up this episode. We appreciate you guys listening. Use the link in the description, and you can join our Discord. You can find more episodes. If you join our Discord, you can tell us what you want us to watch and talk about next, possibly.
We might not listen.
There's a good chance, but it's also very easily to persuade us. We did a whole episode on Twisters because Corey made a joke.
Yeah, has a mega boner for Glenn Powell.
Yeah.
I mean, don't we all? But
Yeah.
Tiny eyes. I can't do it.
Capybara.
capybara.
So we appreciate you guys listening, and we will catch you on the next one.
Adios.